Hello. All right, we are here. Hello, everyone. All right.
Hello.
Hi, Nadine. I'm glad you made it. Hi, Renita, Nadine, Francesca, all members of the Dr. Nina's Mentorship membership.
Excellent.
Hey, ladies. Hey, Kimberly. Hello, everyone. Kim checking in from the birds of Chicago. I heard that, Kimberly. All right. Sora Beth is in the house. Hey, Sora Beth. Sean. Hi, ladies. Hope you're well. Hope you're well, too. Hi, Sora Jelena. Dr. Jelena Austin in the building. Also a bridesmaid. One of my best friends. All right.
We got to mix everybody in the house today.
Yes.
The sorors, the bridal party.
Yes. All right. We got New York City. Y'all, as y'all come in, we love to do a roll call around here. So, make sure you let us know where you're at, where you're from, what you're doing. How's your weekend going? How are things going for you? Just let us know as you come in. We're allowing people to come on in. Hi, Brittany from Lafayette. Hey, Kashonda. All right. We got everybody from North Carolina to New York to Chicago. We got Kamaria from CT, Connecticut. We got Sonia from Memphis. All right, Memphis 10. Miami Beach is in the house with Sean. All right. Stephanie, yes, as you come in, let us know you're here. Yes, please do. Y'all, listen to Stephanie. She knows what she's talking about. San Antonio, hey.
All right, Texas.
Georgia, wait, I done missed Texas. Oh, yeah, San Antonio, duh. See, y'all see what happened when I go on break. When it's time to go on break, I literally go on break.
You like your brain is already on break.
It's already on break. All right. We got Barbara from Toronto. All right. Jessica from St. Louis. I'm from the Loop and I'm proud. Hey, I heard that. We got Kimberly. Weekend has been wonderful. Diet cheat weekend. So much good shopping. You know what?
Some good deals this weekend. I'm trying to maintain control over here.
I went to Lululemon yesterday. Did some damage at the Lulu.
Did you do a little damage?
Did a little damage at the Lulu, but you know what? Sometimes you got to do that. Sometimes, okay. So did a little damage at the Lulu, but it's okay. Thank you, Sean. Yeah, my 15 braids on my head. With not to offend, but I call these you know what? I call them what did I call them? Plantation braids.
Plantation braids.
I call them plantation braids. I do. Just a nice 15 plaits. Keep it real neat. You can still get your work in and still look fabulous.
I love that versatility.
Yes. So guys, we're gonna go ahead and get started. I know people normally come in a little bit later. Some of you all are coming in. I see the numbers are going up just a bit. So I wanted to first off start off by saying thank you so much for being here. I'm excited because we have part 2 with Maven Miara Shaw. We are loving whenever she comes to spend time with us and gives us her wisdom in everything that she does. And I want to make sure that you all know that you can visit her at MiaraShaw.com. Very simple. MiaraShaw.com. Stephanie will ensure that she places her link in the chat so you all are easily able to find Maven Miara and chat with her. Check out her services. She too has a wonderful membership. So make sure that you check out my people and see how they are. And y'all know that if I'm talking about them and talking with them, we got a lot of sense over here. We don't play games.
Yes.
Okay.
We've been gathered.
We've been gathered. So yes, and I want to say thank you all for, coming and spending time with us today. I know tomorrow is a holiday, so you all have the opportunity to do what you would like. So the fact that you're spending some time with us today is awesome. So again, thank you for that. I am going to get right into this and have Maven Miara introduce herself. Some of you all already know her, but I like to open up the floor for her to introduce herself to you the way that she would like to be introduced, and make sure that we get in with this conversation and get some questions answered for you all.
Exactly. Well, happy Sunday to everyone that is joining us today. I hope you are having I always like to say restorative weekend so far. That means you're having a little fun. You're also getting some rest in, drinking whatever adult beverages you like, but also, staying hydrated because, we want to keep that thing balanced out. So again, my name is Miara. My brand name is Maven Miara if you follow me on Instagram or social platforms. And just how that even started, the name of my business is Maven Business Academy. And a Maven is simply someone that shares their knowledge with others, which is what Nina and I are going to do with you today. And you'll be sharing back with us as well some of your insights in the chat and as you ask questions. And so my tribe of women that follow me started calling me Maven Miara. And the name just kind of took over my brand. So that was really cool. My business coach at the time said, well, listen, just give the people what they want. If they're calling you Maven Miara, go with it. And that literally has taken over my brand name. So I'm excited to be here with you ladies again today. And of course, you can find everything about me at miarashaw.com. Super simple. And that's my name. You can use that name on any social platform to find me as well.
Yes. She's very easy to find, very active on her social platforms, giving you knowledge basically almost daily, or if not every other day, just speaking to the people and giving you tidbits of information and motivation and many other things. So much value in also following her journey. So hi, Juanita, another member of the Dr. Venus Mentorship membership. Hey, Juanita, we happy to have you. She's here.
The members are showing up strong today.
They are. Thank you. And Juanita's in the H-Town, so that's nice. I feel real close. So yes, you all, we are going to go ahead and get into this. And as Stephanie has mentioned here in the group, if you're wanting to send me a question, please do at our number. The number is 206-309-4129. You can see that in the chat. Send me a question. But if you're interested in appearing on camera, we will be taking 1 to 2 ladies on camera towards the end to answer a few of your questions. So let's go ahead and get started. So first off, where we left off last time. So this was about our first talk about this was about a month and a half ago. We were talking about imposter syndrome. Mm-hmm. And for those of you all that don't know what that is, to make it just very plain layman's terms, it's basically when you may present to the world one way, right? You could be strong in your career, you're strong as a mother, strong as a father, however that is, but still feel as if you are putting on a show. You literally feel as if, you know what, I'm not that great. Nothing about me is that wonderful. And people are going to find out soon. They're going to find out. They're going to find out that I've been faking. They're going to find out that I'm really not all that I'm cracked up to be. And I'm going to let people down, or I'm going to let a person down. Imposter syndrome can also be just towards yourself. It can be, I think I'm great, but I don't really think I am. So it's like that wavering doubt, right? That comes in and out of our lives. And based on experiences that we have and across our lives, be it in our careers, our relationships, our friendships, life changes, that can come and go. So today we're going to talk just a little bit about how we can realistically move away from that place. What are some of the day-to-day strategies that help us to move away from that space, but also to nurture ourselves along the way and not be so hard on ourselves?
Oh, man.
So, Maven Miara, could you take us into what your thoughts are on imposter syndrome and what has been some of the things you've seen that have really, I won't even say broke your heart, but made you feel a certain type of way about, imposter syndrome?
Yeah, it's sadly, this is something that we all struggle with at times, right? We, as you said, we ride those waves of, we are bad to the bone. And then 3 days later, we stretched out under the earth, like, I don't know if I can accomplish this. So one of the things I'm always saying to women is be gentle with yourself. We are willing to give others grace. We are willing to overlook some things in other people, but we oftentimes are our hardest critic. And so simply remembering when that negative voice shows up and starts to get a little bit louder, I remember we talked about turning the volume down on that imposter syndrome and reminding yourself of what you really know to be true about yourself. Oftentimes for me, when that imposter syndrome shows up or that self-doubt and that voice starts to get louder, I have to simply look back over my shoulder and be reminded of my victories.
Yeah.
What have you done? That's great. What happens when doubt shows up, it kind of feels like it's taking over our entire life. Like everything we've done is failure. And so we forget all of the badass things that we've been doing and are currently doing. So in those moments, take a deep breath, be gentle with yourself, and simply remind yourself of your greatness. Just remind yourself of some of your own victories. You don't have to go to somebody else's Instagram page, somebody else's Facebook page, your own life. You've done some stuff that's amazing. Maybe you didn't even tell anybody. Maybe you didn't post it on your Instagram reel, but you know it to be true. So remind yourself of that greatness. Even when doubt shows up, I often say, have your tools ready for when you need them. If that's your affirmations, you can speak your affirmations in a voice note and save it in your phone for when you need to hear yourself. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I need to encourage myself. Maybe I can't get Dr. Nina that day. Maybe I can't get my coach that day. How can I encourage myself? Having a power playlist of music. Boom, that's a great injection of, you know what? I can get this done. But having those tools already ready so that when you have the valley experience, the doubt shows up and the volume starts getting louder, you know, this is how I'm going to turn this down. I'm going to remind myself that I am, as I say, CPR, capable, prepared, and ready for the very next step. The very next one, not 10 steps down, the very next one, the one that's in front of you.
That's a good one. And I love that you brought up CPR. Could you break that down for us? Like just how you apply that CPR to your life?
Yeah. So the CPR is really, that stands again for capable, prepared, and ready. And then I add for your very next step, because oftentimes when the fear shows up and the doubt shows up and the imposter syndrome shows up, it's because maybe we're at step 10 and we're all worked up and frustrated and concerned that we're not ready for step 20. Sis, you don't have to be. You are prepared. CPR for step 11 if you're at 10. And so CPR just reminds me to bring my bigger goals down into smaller steps. So what's the next step that I need to do? That's the one that I need to focus on. That's where my energy, all of that needs to go. Then once I've done step 11, guess what? Now I'm ready for 12. I don't have to be worried about step 20 yet. So that CPR is just a reminder that, you know, we have these big audacious goals. Those are good. Don't give up on those, but break those down into smaller steps. And then when doubt shows up, you keep applying CPR. What's the very next thing that I need to do? Is it send somebody an email? Is it make the phone call? Is it hit send on the proposal? Whatever it is, do that very next thing. And that's what your CPR for. The very next step, the next one, not 20 steps away, the very, very next one.
Oh, not 20 steps away.
Not 20 steps.
I heard what you said. But you know what? And I feel like we have real conversations. There's several ladies in here that I've had real conversations with. And Myra, you're probably one of those people in the room that has heard like my real raw,
right,
deep emotions at a certain time. Because here's the thing. I want people to understand that even when you see people as, you know, as, oh, they've learned, they've done it, there's still those low points, right?
Absolutely.
So I want to normalize those low points. And what I want is not the flowery things, right? Here, Maven Miara, I want to hear, how do you keep that mindset when everything is going to crap, if you will? How do you keep that steady, even when everything seems to be against you, bad things seem to be happening around you? How do you keep that steady level, steady mind?
For me, the first thing I do when sometimes overwhelmed really is overwhelmed. It is just too much. I give myself permission to sit down for a moment, gather myself. And that could be a day. Hell, that could be a week. I don't know. But I have to be honest with myself in those moments. And I call those days the days that I watch Apple TV on my iPad and stay in my pajamas and just sit in my office. I don't be working. That's real stuff. That's real talk, because I think this concept of Black women being strong and Black women being super women, that's not reality all the time. I don't want any of us to beat ourselves up over being human and being vulnerable. But when those moments show up, like I said, for me, I just take a break. One of the things that I just felt so overwhelmed and fearful of was, I'm gonna tell y'all about y'all coach and friend, Dr. Nina. Okay, so what happened was, Dr. Nina was doing the Amazon lives. She's like, Myra, you need to do these Amazon lives. Here's the link. Sign up. Again, I take the lady at her word. I go fill out the form. Boom, boom, boom. The people like, boom, you're approved. I'm like, wait. Okay. It took me about a month to get that first live done, which I did this past Monday. And here's the reason why. Imposter syndrome showed up. Well, what if you get on this camera and you start fumbling and you just can't get all this stuff right? Because technically an Amazon live is a lot of moving parts. You talk about products, you're moving them along, you're grabbing other stuff. It is a lot. And I just kept procrastinating, putting it off. Like, maybe I shouldn't really do that. Maybe that's not for me. No, I hadn't tried it, right? I often say, don't be saying what you shouldn't do and can't do if you haven't tried it. I finally got it done. So how did I really make myself get off the stuck box and move to execution? I put a deadline on it. I put a date on it. All of that, oh yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. It was just open-ended. But when I put a date on it of last Monday, I was like, ugh, I got to get up, gather myself, get these products laid out and do this live. Now I did it in that day. I moved the time. I was going to do it at 11. Then I had to move it to 12:45. Still like, ooh, my light ain't quite right. A bunch of foolishness, because I'm on camera and with lights and all this stuff all the time, right? But if I did not have also that accountability, that's another tip. Have someone that's holding you accountable to support you, because sometimes we do really need the break, right? And sometimes once the break is over, we've got to bust a move. We've got to execute. And I had already sent Nina a voice memo saying I was going to do it that day. And I was like, I had already sent it to my email list. I was like, oh God, at this point, it's got to be done. Even if I fumble through it, it's going to get done today. So when you need to give yourself a break, when you really do feel overwhelmed, give yourself grace. And I always say, give yourself grace guilt-free. Don't give yourself grace. So you took the break, right? You're going to be off for the day. You're going to take a self-care day. And then mentally, you're beating yourself up all day. You should be working. You know you're behind. You got all this stuff to do. You should go ahead and send 5 emails. Give yourself grace, but do it guilt-free. It doesn't do us a lot of good to give ourselves grace, take a break, yet we beat ourselves up the entire time we're on the break. Give yourself grace, guilt-free, and then listen, have that good old accountability partner. That will help you. Sometimes we have to hit restart after that break, right? That accountability partner will help you just be honest about the situation. Okay, so now what's the real reason we're not doing this? And when you can't come up with an answer, that accountability partner is going to be able to help you get moving again and get going. Because you can't stay on break forever, right?
No.
At some point, we got to hit reset, regather ourselves, and keep going.
I love that you said that, but something else I'm thinking about, and I think a lot of people in the room can relate to this, is even applying yourself to something new. And I'm glad you mentioned the Amazon Lives, because if you remember that day, I wrote you and was like, hey, where's that video? What's happening? You good? What happened?
Right.
So sometimes we just need people that really understand that we're approaching something new.
Mm-hmm.
And that we just need a little bit of coaching to that point, but also kindness from them.
Right.
Watch who you're telling these things to. Okay?
So important. So
watch
important.
who you're telling these things to. Watch who you're sharing these dreams with or these fears.
Yes.
Because even those imposter syndrome fears, I know that I've learned the hard way, and even people I've coached, people that I've worked with as a psychologist, there is a lot of times where people share this information with the wrong people.
Yeah.
People that are unable to be objective in their own lives, people who are highly judgmental, people who are not realistic. They hide shade through being realistic.
Right.
It's easy for you to continue to feel like an imposter with someone who's not supporting you where you are. How do you find and build that tribe of people who can handle that?
I would say for me, it's a couple things. Trust your gut, trust your intuition, the Holy Spirit, whatever you call your gut. Trust that. Because our intuition, when we truly trust it, when we truly listen, it's not going to lead us astray. It cannot. It's just not going to do it. And for me, I take it a little slow. You know what I'm saying? Because people can give you a real cool, supportive face in the beginning. Now, this has been my personal experience, and this is, Nina and I have talked about this because we show up for each other as authentic women, the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? That doesn't mean everything's always perfect and you're always, okay, yeah, that's right, you should do it. Sometimes you be like, sis, I don't think that's right. No, I think you should be doing that, or you need to speed up or slow down or whatever it is.
Yeah. But
I know this is something about my personality. When I say I'm going to execute and do something, I'm going to do it. I honor my word. That's a really big deal for me. And so I think when people initially sometimes meet other people, they're like all, and I don't want to use the word enamored, like they're all like girl giddy behind you, but you follow where I'm going, right? So when it comes down to really doing the work, what I've noticed is that their imposter syndrome shows up. Like, wait, we both was talking about the things we can do and bring to the table. But this lady, Maven Miara, she's really bringing hers. And I don't know if I could really bring mine, or if mine's going to measure to hers, and all of these things people start going through. And I'm a work in progress on that, because when you show me that you're crazy a little bit, I'm out. Listen, we have to be, again, the grace factor. Maybe they got nervous, whatever it is. But for me, that's something that I'm still working on. I just truly, when people show me who they are, I believe them. And that's like one of my favorite quotes in the world. And I know, one of my coaches told me years ago, I was talking about that part of my personality. And she said, Myra, everyone that needs you is not going to show up in a pretty pink box with the bow tied perfectly. And I said, well, why? Because that's what I want. She said, well, those people don't need you. Oh, okay. Okay.
Wow.
And it literally, just like you said, wow, that's how, like, my heart got convicted that, I wanted to just do the easy work and work with people that are all the time ready and, executing well. But really, those people might not need me. It's the women that are really stuck and want to move to execution, that are stuck in imposter syndrome or afraid to take the big step. Those are the people that need me. And sometimes that's a mess when you first get it. And so for me, I, really having to learn who to trust and really honor what my heart is telling me, and not just what I want. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes people, the quote of everything that glitters is not gold, and you can get caught up. You know what I'm saying? And that is cost. I don't know an entrepreneur that has not had that experience. Sometimes it costs us money. Sometimes it costs us emotional equity. Sometimes it costs us things, right? But I think there's always a lesson to get, so that when the next person shows up in our lives, that we can examine that better. But here's the thing I want to add to that. We cannot allow past hurts, right? Past bad experiences to jade us so badly that when someone truly shows up on our path that's for us, that's willing to support us, uplift us, cheer us along, that we turn them off because we're so jaded. When you have these tough experiences that, okay, I trusted the wrong person. I have a Maven quote that says the work is not skippable. That's the internal work. You've got to pause enough to do that internal healing in your heart that needs to be done, so that, again, when the next person that's truly for you shows up, that you don't blow them off, or you give them such nastiness that they're like, no, I'm not spending any energy with this person. So don't give up on people as a whole, because we've, in your question, we've trusted some of the wrong people. Get your heart healed. Take the time you need. Do your own self-examination so that you can keep moving down your path with a heart that's open, right? And that heart open doesn't mean we just trust anybody that shows up on the path, but our heart is open to the people that are truly for us. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's not out to get us, and everybody's not a hater and all of that stuff that we see. Some people, we just maybe met at the wrong time, or they were just in a bad place, had nothing to do with us, nothing to do with us. We can't let that jade our heart so bad that now when the next person comes along, who's the blessing we need, we're not even open for it.
Not at all. And I love that. We have to be open for those newer experiences and the right ones.
Right.
Thing Trina said, that is so true. We must learn from our experiences, but don't be blinded by when a true person comes.
Absolutely.
So true. And I'm going to say this too, because I feel like a lot of times we reserve space for people that have been around for a long time.
Right.
And we believe support and love only comes in certain shapes and forms. And I think sometimes those very people we hold space for, they end up adding to a sense of inadequacy. They end up adding to us feeling bad about ourselves. They end up adding to us feeling stuck. Yeah. They end up adding to us not moving forward. And I know, because, not only have I helped people that have struggled with this, but I have struggled with saying, oh, a person has been around this long, I might as well keep them around.
Right.
Or I may as well, not knowing that that very person is the venom that is causing me to feel inadequate.
Yeah.
And I've seen other people do that as well. So a big part of it too is knowing that your tribe is not going to always look the way that you thought that it would.
Right.
And sometimes we have to let go of the vision that we thought we should have, whether that be family, whether that be friends, whether that be co-workers. I think sometimes we have to be willing to literally let go of things when that time has come. And sometimes we're not willing to do that, and we're blocking the people who could add to us feeling adequate, more than adequate, but also help to push us and catapult us forward to our goals.
I was going to say the elevation part is what we miss out on when we tie our vision to other people. When we tie our vision to other people, then we can get stuck there. And really, honestly, for women, that is one of those difficult things, because when we've grown to know someone and we love them and they love us, we just cannot imagine one of us outgrowing each other in some way. And when you start seeing those signs that this person has done their season of work in my circle, we start clawing and trying to hold on, and it just keeps getting worse, and it keeps getting worse. This is what I like to envision, that for the place that I am in my life and where I need to go, there is a circle that God has assigned to me, circle of people, supporters, coaches, advisors, mentees, all of that, a circle, right? And my circle, let's say, is 8 people. If someone in my circle is, I've outgrown them or they've outgrown me and they need to go on in a different direction. If I'm forcing that relationship to be solidified in that spot, the person that is supposed to be in that spot can't get in their place in my life, because I'm allowing someone else to stay in a spot where they're no longer serving me and I'm no longer serving them. And that's, I tell you what, I've shed some tears in my entrepreneurial journey over those things, because it's, when we start out, we think everybody that started with us is going to keep going with us. We're going to have that same circle. And it's just not reality. It's just not reality, because again, maybe we outpaced them. Maybe they outpaced us. Maybe their vision changed. Maybe our vision grew and it needs some different things in it. Again, that doesn't mean you have to abandon the entire person, but we truly know when someone that's in our intimate circle should no longer be there. We know that. We keep making up all kind of excuses and all kind of, well, I'm just going to let them one more time, and I'm going to talk to them, and we're going to meet for coffee, and I'm going to pray. And listen, be obedient and let the pruning that needs to happen, because, we go through this every spring in nature. We have to cut back certain trees, certain bushes, certain flowers. We have to prune them. There are some things being removed so that beautiful blossoms can come forth when they need to. It's the same way in our human lives. Sometimes we're in a pruning season, and that means we've got to let some things, some people go, so that we can elevate to the new position that we really are asking for. We're praying for these things. We're asking for these things. But where we get stuck, we want it to be delivered in the way in which we wrote it down in our journal. The sun is out. The roses are blooming. The pavement is all gold. Like, we want all of these things. And when we have to have some days where the rain comes and maybe it's a thunderstorm in our lives, we be sometimes ready to throw the whole thing away because we're experiencing a pruning season. But don't let your imposter syndrome show up in that season and tell you you're never going to get there. You're not worthy of the goals and dreams that you have. Examine who you have around you, because even in our valley seasons, sometimes we go through valleys and we need to experience them solo, right? There's some things we got to do, some self-examination. No one can do that for us but ourselves. But in other seasons, when you experience certain lows, that circle, those people around you, are they encouraging you, at least checking on you? Or are they saying some things that is not settling with your spirit right? Don't ignore that. I think we always get the small signs that we keep ignoring, and then now it's an entire relationship explosion before we finally say, okay, I've got to take that person out of my circle, or whatever it is. Pay attention to the small signs. Somebody throwing an emotional dart at you, or saying something kind of nice, nasty to you all the time. Pay attention to those things. People, I tell my nieces and my family this: everybody's not going to be happy for you're happy. They might want to be. My God, they want to be. But when people are in their own unfulfilling lost, stuck places, it's really hard for them to celebrate somebody by their eyes has it all together and is really moving along. So be mindful, but also give yourself grace, and don't go with a blinded eye that I'm not going to trust anyone because I had a bad experience, or I'm going to be naive and, anybody can come into my circle. No, I say all the time, I am not for everyone and everyone is not for me. I'm okay with it.
Not at all. Woo! Hello. And I'm going to say this too, because you said it all. Thank you for those gems. Gems were all dropped. I heard the Funk Master Flex moms going on. Well, basically, too, what I wanted to say is a lot of times we think that these things come as a surprise. I had someone ask me the other day, one of the wonderful members of the mentorship membership asked me, how is it that, you're able to let go of things? I've seen you let go of things, even relationships. Well, one thing that I thought of later on, because I ponder these things, is not that it's super special, but a lot of times we have not paid close attention to the indicators along the way. One thing that I try to do is not be surprised. Now, I like surprises.
Right.
Surprises we don't have to be surprised about, right? So if you know something is not working out in your life, a friendship is gone awry, a relationship is running its course, you're not shocked when it ends. It's usually that we have not allowed those indicators to be loud enough for it to inform our decision.
Right.
If you have an informed decision, you're less likely to have a feeling of losing something. Yes, you're going to go through some level of grief. That happens for human beings.
Absolutely.
But a lot of times, the reason why those of us that handle loss so well seem to handle it so well is because we're not surprised. We're not shocked. We saw this happening. We planned for its happening. We thought about the fact that, it's probably going to hurt to ultimately let go of this situation, or to let go of this person, to let go of this space, to let go of this time in my life. But I realize it's coming.
Yes.
I'm going to equip myself with something different. I might even come up with a pseudo plan that helps me to move past this. And that's why you see the peace and the comfort. I've been asked that before. You just let things go and you just move on. It's not that I just do that. I'm not just throwing people away and I'm not just bulldozing through life. But I also don't allow too many of those surprises where I'm not acting as if I'm ignorant to a situation. We must allow ourselves to be open to seeing things the way that they are and being okay with the truth of the matter. And that helps us to move forward too with these various people that we allow into our lives and to take up space. And that leads me into what B said. B asked this question here. How do you let people go when you feel you have no one else?
Oh, wow.
And maybe I want you to approach that one first.
Yeah. So Miss B, let's talk about this a little bit. When you know in your heart, you need to let this person go, whomever that is, right? Again, remember I talked about this example of the circle. If your circle of people that are created to support you is 8 people, and the person you need to let go, you're holding on to, then the person that you need can't get in that spot. What the fear is that how long is it going to be before I let this person go that should no longer be, and the new person gets in the spot? What's that space in between? That's where fear shows up and says, you're not going to ever get that support. If you let that person go, you're not going to ever have anyone. Until that transition happens, you have you, right? We got to be okay with ourselves, period. Now, you might say today, if today you are not comfortable with just you, that's the work. That's the part that I want you to focus on. It's not when the next person is coming or how do I so methodically let the person go. But when you start focusing, what do I need? How am I okay with just me? All of the other stuff will start to clear itself up. It will. And I know it feels so overwhelming and fearful that You feel like I'm not going to have anyone, but you're going to have you.
Mm-hmm.
That's important. And again, if that's not what you feel is strong enough, I encourage you to examine that part. Don't worry about who's coming and who's going. Just you getting comfortable with just you. And you say, okay, Myra, that sounds real cute. How do I do that? One of the first ways I ask women to really start creating in their own lives what I call a balanced rhythm. You're not going to know what your rhythm is, any of us, until we spend time with ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
As my oldest son say, some solo dolo time. You got to get, if I'm going to create a rhythm for my life, I've got to know what I want my rhythm to look like, what I want it to feel like, what I want it to sound like, how it feels in my heart when I'm in my rhythm. How does it feel when I'm out of my rhythm? You're never going to know that until you spend some quiet, quality time with yourself. Again, if that's something you've never done, start with 5 minutes in the morning. Just 5 minutes. And you don't have to worry about, well, what do I need to say? What do I need to do? I encourage you to just simply get still. Don't ask for nothing. Don't talk about nothing. Just get still. Listen to what your heart is telling you. And slowly but surely, those answers will start to come. Or the person that you need to connect with to help guide you, that person, you'll wind up connecting with that person. But the transition of somebody leaving and someone going, that transition period, focus on you. What do I want? What do I want this new person that's going to potentially show up to even look like? What's the deficit I have in my life that I need them to help me with? If we don't know, then we are more apt to take anybody that comes along. And that's where the trouble starts, because we're unclear. Clarity provides speed. Clarity provides speed. When we are unclear about what we want, what we need, we're waffling. We're over here dancing around to the right, then we over here to the left, then we go backwards 10 steps, then we go in a circle 10 times. We're all over the place. We're all over the place. Clarity comes from that quiet time. What do I even want? What do I need in my life right now? What's the goal that I have, and what type of support do I need in this space? So Miss B, don't try not to focus your energy on someone not being there. You're there. You are with you all the time. And that is the person we've got to cultivate that confidence in, to trust the most, is ourselves.
Ooh, yes, I love it, Maven Miara. I love it. Y'all see why I love my people. And Francis Shaw even says here, yes, ma'am. You know that has been me, Myra. Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's cousin.
All right, cousin. Cousin. Now, I was also going to say, to extend upon that thought process, is sometimes when we are so afraid to be alone, we don't realize we continue to block a space.
Yes.
That is supposed to either be filled with us and allowing space for us to get better, because I do feel whoever you believe in, I'm going to say God for me, tries to pave a way for you to become more comfortable with yourself. But when you keep fighting it by filling it with things that don't make sense any longer, you're never going to find that space. So when you ask people how they feel so comfortable with themselves, how they can let things go, how they seem more peaceful or okay, I think you cannot reach that space until you do feel that space with you. But again, going back to that guilt, we've been guilted into believing that filling spaces with us is a negative thing.
Right. That's not enough.
That's not enough, or is, that's selfish. That's a bunch of malarkey.
Yes.
Okay? Because you can't even figure out how to allow people to treat you if you don't fill spaces with yourself or with the right people. I'm very choosy with my time. I'm going to tell y'all something.
Yes.
I do very little what I don't want to do. I really don't do a whole lot of extra niceties for people unless I feel moved to do so. How did I get there? How did I get to that point? Basically, because I'm unashamed of me and who I am. I'm very clear on what I like and what I don't like. Absolutely. What I like in my space, what I do, the people I like, and the people I don't like. People know very quickly. Y'all know I'm a very nice person. I do people very well.
However,
if I'm not feeling you, you will know. Not because I'm being mean to you,
right?
Because I won't choose to spend my precious time on this earth with you.
Yeah. Right? I'm out. When I don't feel it, I'm out. I'm like, okay, nice to meet you. Enjoy your day. I'm out. I'm not obligated to spend energy. And that's something sometimes, again, as women, we feel bad about. We feel bad when we're not feeling somebody that we have to feel somebody. You don't. It's okay. No is a complete sentence. Like, would you want to come meet us and join us? No, thank you. I don't have to make up a reason why. I don't have to make up a lie. No, thank you. I'm good. I appreciate it. But being okay with, and again, that comes back to that spending time with yourself to even know what you like, what you don't like, what you will accept and what you will not accept, who you will put up with and who you will not. It doesn't mean that Nina and I somebody doesn't show what we like, we cut people off at the knees, but we know how to get out of situations that we don't want to be in, how to say no up front. No, thank you. With a whole smile. No, thank you.
And that's how other people learn how to treat you.
Yes. We teach people how to treat us. Absolutely.
And this goes back into what's been mentioned, because Miara, you've been dropping so many gems, and it takes me back to the idea of not being shocked and surprised. I think a lot of times when we think more clearly and carefully about what we know about ourselves, we're less surprised about our reactions to people. When I meet certain people, if I know they put something in my spirit, I'm not going to spend a lot of time with them. You know why? Because I know the outcome of that. I know I'm going to end up losing my religion, saying some things that probably is going to set that person back a few years.
Right.
And make me feel like I need to be on the altar immediately.
I say, then we're going to be having to be on the altar asking for forgiveness.
So therefore, if I'm not shocked, if I spent enough time getting to know myself, I know this person is probably, I'm going to save them and I'm going to save myself.
Yep.
God, I'm going to save you a few less curse words because I know that it's not worth it. But we don't get to that point until we stop filling our spaces, as B said, with people that we think we should just hold on to. Right. B, just going back to that very thought of holding on to things that we no longer need. Just think about the pair of jeans that we can no longer fit, that serve us no purpose, but take up space.
Yeah.
Those are the types of things we need to think about. Life is not that separated. Life is not that, I want to say, that different from some of the everyday things we engage in. If you have something around that's taking up space that brings you nothing, eventually you'll end up being nothing. That's just how, because you'll be depleted to that point. And that's just the reality of the situation. Sean reminds me here of the podcast episode, which I think I need to do a part 2 to, of protect your damn energy.
Man, that's a whole word right there. Thank you, Sean. Protect the whole thing.
Please do. Protect the energy, because you only get it once. And I'm going to tell you, some of these people that you believe just need to be in your space and you just need them so bad, they'll deplete all your energy. And as soon as you eject them, they'll go take it from somebody else. Yeah. You'll find that your energy was nothing special.
Right. I posted a quote on Facebook about a month ago, and it said something like, if you're tired of people basically depleting you, or no, if you're tired of people sucking all the energy out of you, stop giving them the straw.
Ooh.
If you're tired of people sucking all the energy out of you, stop giving them the straw. We can control some of that. But again, because, we've been kind of taught that we have to be nice. We have to, extend all kinds of grace and madness to everybody. That's not the truth. Some people are energy depleters. They are energy suckers. I do not hang around those people. I don't want to. I don't need to. I don't have to. I wish them well, but we're not going to spend any time together. So those type of people, I call it, they start tapping on my crazy button. And listen, We want to keep all the buttons in the boxes. We don't want any of that to get out of control.
We don't, because we might blow up the spot for everybody. We don't need any of that. I was going to also go back to a question here and I think I missed that. A comment by Sora Beth. Sora Beth says here, y'all are my sisters. I was about to ask how to show people how to treat me, but I stopped and realized that I need to first learn how to treat myself well.
Oh, okay. That's a word.
Sora Beth, you got it. Because a lot of times we are teaching people how to treat us.
Right.
We're the very example of how to treat. When the first time I started saying no, it was the hardest thing ever, but I realized it felt good and people started filtering what they came to me for. Yeah. Because well, what are the odds I'm gonna get a yes? Because she's been saying no a lot lately.
Right.
So you gotta do that. And Jelena,
that's a good thing.
Hello. It saves you on the front end and the back end. And Jelena says, that just blessed my soul, the straw. Yes. You can quit handing that straw out. And Juanita says here, at all costs, because when they remove yours, it's on to the next energy.
Absolutely.
Yes, it is.
On to the next person.
And they will ride that ride until they cannot, just because they know they can. Some people don't even know where to put your energy, but they just want to take it because they can.
Right.
And then we have Kimberly who says emotional vampires. Sean said, yes, causing unnecessary stress. Yes. And I saw a comment here. I won't say their name aloud unless they would like it to. But this is what they said, looking to take the plunge from my corporate full-time job and venturing into private practice. The imposter syndrome is heavy. How can I build confidence and cope with removing the security to take that next step? I think y'all asked the right person, because I think Maven Miara know a bit about that.
Yes. So the question, removing the security, I'm assuming they're talking about the security of leaving corporate and going out and doing your own thing as an entrepreneur. Let me start by saying I commend you for even considering taking the step. Couple things that I would say that's going to help build your confidence, and you feeling the imposter syndrome in this particular case is not abnormal. So know that you are not off the ranch with feeling this, because that's a big deal to go from 100% corporate to 100% entrepreneurship. It's a big deal. I've been there and done it. Here's a couple of things that will help you with that. One, get an accountability partner, somebody because you're going to have some days where you need to cry and be like, what the hell? And other days you're like, we're about to kill this. It's going to be a big emotional swing going through that transition. So get an accountability partner, coach, advisor, whatever that looks like, that can help you with that. One of the things I want you to be able to get with one of these coach, advisor, mentor, whatever it is what I call a quit strategy. I do not advise women to be like, show up on Monday, be like, you know what? I quit today. No, let's not do that. But really to develop a quit strategy so that you can sit down and be intentional on what's my goal. Okay, I want to start a private practice. How much money is that going to require? What do I need a building, or am I going to be working virtually? Figure all of those things out, because a lot of those steps can be checked off your list while you still have your full-time job. So get as much done as you can while you still have that full-time income rolling in. And then you can decide, how much money do I need? What's my living expenses each month? And how many months of that do I need to have saved? So that when it comes your day of, this is the day I feel like I can get all of this done, I need 6 months. So at the end of the year, you like, December 31st is going to be my last day. You have a whole strategy around what you're going to be doing between now and the end of the year, and then what you're going to be doing in January of the next year. So I call that a quit strategy, so that, again, there's so many things you can get done before you quit, and have a money plan. And what is this new phase of your life? What do you want it to look like? I can pretty much assure you it won't look like what you think it's going to look like initially. You can write it down. We can color code it, put it in the Google Calendar, all that kind of stuff. It's not quite going to happen like that. But if you have a strategy, so you know the end goal. The strategy just helps you create flexibility along the route to get there, because you're going to need the flexibility, because something's not going to pan out just right. Something's not going to come through right when it was supposed to. That's part of the process. But having that strategy gives you your end goal of where you're trying to be in a year, 2 years, whatever that is, and then applying flexibility on top of that. And then having the accountability partner keeps you focused and moving forward, because even now at the end of this year, I will be a full-time entrepreneur for 7 years. And I still tell people, I think once a month I dust off my corporate resume. Like, I'm going back. This is too much. And I might dust it off, and then I look at it and be like, girl, go sit down. I go on about my business, right? But I still have that emotion. I still go through that, because full-time entrepreneurship is tough, and it has its peaks, small peaks, big peaks, high valleys. All of that is part of the journey. And it's much different handling that journey versus handling your life journey. But there's a check still hitting your account every other week. Two different types of things going on there, right? But totally doable. Find you an accountability partner, coach, mentor, advisor, whatever that looks like for you. And then develop a quit strategy so that you don't feel like you're just one day going to be quitting and you're not really clear about what the goals are.
Love that. Thank you for that, Miara. And as Sean has said here, necessary advice, and you are truly giving amazing information, Maven.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I always say this because I love creating strategies. I'm a business strategist and life strategist. That's where you can begin to cultivate your confidence. Confidence doesn't come and stay because we never make a mistake. Confidence comes because we have at least a plan, a strategy in place. And when something goes wrong or doesn't happen according to plan, okay, I still know how to get back on track. That's how I'm able to maintain confidence. Confidence isn't maintained because you never make a mistake. If you're not making any mistakes, you are not doing it right.
You definitely are not doing it right. And in fact, those falls help you to get back up and feel more confident and not care about what everybody got to say.
Exactly. Yeah.
And Brittany was the one who asked that question. She said, so very helpful. Thank you, ladies. Of course, Brittany.
Yes, ma'am.
Being fed, yes. Now, Jessica says here, Jessica says, how do you know you have the right accountability partner?
That's a good question.
I think first you got to identify when you know you have the wrong one.
Well, yes. And again, I think the biggest clue that you have the right one is that you know what you're looking for. Again, that comes back to spending quiet time with yourself to know what you want. I need a coach, mentor, advisor, or a partner on my team in the areas where I'm weak at. I don't need someone to be on my team with the same strength that I have. We got that base covered.
Right.
I need people in my life that are going to support, keep me on track in the areas that I'm weak in. So that's one, knowing what you're even looking for in an accountability partner, coach, mentor, or advisor in your life. What are you looking for? What do you need? And then again, going back to trusting that your spirit, your intuition. If that person is supporting you, and I want to be clear and add this note, support does not mean they always agree with you. That doesn't mean support.
Hello.
A coach, mentor, and advisor, there's definitely going to be times where they do not agree with you. You're going to be saying, I want to do this thing that's the shape of my pinky. And they're like, no, it should be the shape of 2 fingers together. They're going to be pushing you, encouraging you to see your vision in a bigger way. That's going to feel uncomfortable. Sometimes you're not going to feel worthy. You're going to be thinking, I don't even know how to get that done. If you have to be able to be vulnerable with your accountability partner.
Yes.
To tell them the truth. Look, this is what I think I can do. You said you see it bigger than that, but I want you to know That terrifies me. I don't think I have enough money, enough resources, enough knowledge, enough fill in the blank to get that done. So then they can say, okay, well, I got you. Here are the first 3 things we're going to do. I'm going to support you. Even if you have a setback, a failure, a misstep, we're going to get back on track. Your accountability partner is encouraging you, supporting you, pushing you, and not just kind of letting you skate along and stay comfortable. That's not what you're looking for. And then again, trusting your spirit that you know when you're interacting with the person, especially an accountability partner, because that's somebody you're going to interact with more frequently, whether you're feeling good about that or you get off the call with that person and you're like, oh my God, I want to stab myself with a pencil right now. You feel completely depleted versus you feel like, ooh, they just challenged me. So maybe I feel a little frustrated because I got challenged, but you still feel good about it. You know what I'm saying? That's one of those things when we have these close relationships in our lives, accountability partners. If there's something that doesn't feel right, if you can't go to that accountability partner and talk about it, that's a sign. That's a warning sign for me that might not be the right person. Maybe not for an accountability partner. Maybe they're just an associate, right? But an accountability partner, I should be able to be vulnerable with that person. I should be able to say what I really feel, if I'm afraid or if I'm super excited, whatever that is. And then that person not come back and make you feel small or, insufficient or any of those negative feelings. That's not what you should be feeling from an accountability partner at all.
And this person too, just to bring that back in too, Miara, because you bring up some great points here. This person is not going to work on your inadequacies per se. What I mean is they're going to also pull from your strength base. They're going to ask about things that you know how to do so that they know how to better further lead, go and direct you. They're going to also use the strengths that you already have. That relationship of an accountability partner, what I've learned is not just someone who makes you feel like, oh, I've already achieved that, so I've already reached the pinnacle. They're a person that may still be working on their own thing, but at the same time, they can offer, I've heard that you normally think of things this way. How about trying X, Y, and Z, or figuring out this from this perspective? They're going to pull from and actually listen to, because I find that a lot of people who don't necessarily do mentoring and all of that right, they never really pull from the strengths the person already possesses. No, it's so bottom and low that they have no strengths, even if your strength is just talking, even if your strength is cracking jokes, right? Able to pull from your reality stores of strengths and help you to build up, which will basically the back end of that is the inadequacies will start to come up to par as well. So it's not about just making you feel inadequate or bad or less than because you haven't reached a certain point. You are also adding to this relationship of mentoring or a relationship of accountability by bringing in your own strengths. And that goes back to what Maven Miara has stated too, is that you should feel okay being vulnerable with this person, because you know that they're comfortable with your strengths. They're comfortable with your weaknesses. They're okay with that, and they're there to just serve as either a sounding board or someone who can help to guide you even more into that place of where you want to go. So you want to make sure that people understand in that relationship is not about someone having a quote unquote level above you, because every mentor I've ever had, they've often turned around, which shocked me, and said, hey, well, Nina, how do I do this?
Right.
And I'm like, hold on, but you're the one that know what?
Right.
You accomplish all of these. And they're like, yes, but your strength is also being able to speak on X, Y, and Z. I need that. I need to hear from you on that. Right. And that help to, an accountability is also a reverse strategy. That person should be able to bounce off of you as well with any things that they're sensing that you have strengths in that can also help the relationship to thrive. Right. So those are things that you should look for in an accountability partner. And you know that it's the wrong person when they're trying to hold over your head where they've gone and where you have yet to go.
And I want to add one more thing to that. If really anybody in your intimate circle is always focused on your weaknesses, but they never want to applaud your strengths, put them out. Put them out.
Quick.
Because that's such a sneaky little way, you know, when people are not happy with themselves internally, when they have this overwhelming need to always be pointing out somebody else's weaknesses, but never want to celebrate when they are killing it at something. Why? That person, like I said, definitely not an accountability partner, but I wouldn't have that person in my intimate circle. If I see them, you know, passing at something, hey, how are you? Very good. But to be in my intimate circle and your talk is always of the negative, no, I don't want it in my space.
Woo, we don't need it. And I'm gonna go back to, because there's 2 comments I want to hit on before we go to our best questions before we wrap up. We have a comment here by Sean Harness. Hey, Sean. It's also important for the accountability partner to be present. They may be have the experience to help, but may not be physically or mentally present. Yep. Yeah, and I can tell you that too. You can sense when an accountability partner is listening to nothing you say, and you want to know why? The way I knew accountability partners were not right was sometimes I would be stating the same thing over. No, I did X, Y, and Z. They're still trying to tell me from another perspective. No, they won't remember everything, but they're going to remember key components about you, your personality, your goals, and your grit. They're going to remember those things.
Yep.
You know, you're going to constantly have to fight them to know those things.
Right. And that's one of those things you have to be mindful of when you're seeking or looking for coach, mentor, advisor. Normally those folks are good at whatever it is they're doing. They're busy. Okay. So you got to make sure that they have capacity to take you. Mm-hmm. If they don't have capacity, it's going to be very frustrating for you to try to get on their calendar, have a conversation with them. You know, you text them and they texting you 2 days later. You don't have capacity for me.
No.
If that's how we're responding to each other. So make sure that person, you could be like, no, this is my person. I love the work they do. It's in the area I want to be in. All of that could be true, but you got to make sure they have the capacity in their schedule to even take you seriously. Because if you're counting on someone to be an accountability partner, you want them to be that. You don't want this to be kind of off and on and, you know, randomness. You want this to be consistent. So, and that just might mean you and that person can't connect in this season. You might have to find somebody else. That's okay, but just be mindful of that.
And maybe they're just a touch point too. Maybe they're just a person that can step in temporarily and help to hear your thoughts and move forward from there. And that's okay too. And then we have Sorbeth here that says, how do I remove my deepest fear? I know what video to watch, which exercise. I'm sorry. That went away. Which exercise routine is good for me, yet I haven't started. And it sounds like your thought process is going back towards fitness and you knowing what to do and how to do it, and you know where to go for the information, but maybe there's some fear there. Mm-hmm. And what I haven't heard here, Sorbeth, as a person who's been through it at a major level, is identifying what those fears are. Sometimes facing those fears, number one, will help you to get over that point. Again, I'm going to continue to say it. And I know some of my mentees in here have heard me say it several times. When I first went to the gym, I went to the gym. I'm not joking about that. I literally walked in and walked out. It was probably somebody there that was like, what is this girl doing? Like I walked in like, all right, good job.
I made an appearance today.
I feel good. I did it. And I literally went home with still my bad habits. Not everything changed on day one, but I knew that I had overcome the fear of actually walking into a place, being seen in that place, and figuring out where I was going to go. So you have to figure out where is the fear coming from? Is it from being seen? Is it from being heard? Is it from being stated? I see Francesca says she just texted a question. So we're going to make sure we answer that. But being seen, being heard, not being judged, all of those things. Sometimes just knowing what those fears are prepare us better for them so we're able to face them. And that's something we call, in my field, desensitization. A lot of times you have to desensitize yourself because the fear is there, but the fear has not been, it's not been presented, and it's not also been looked at. So when you haven't looked at it, you don't really know where to go. So you will prevent yourself from going any further because you haven't attacked the fear yet. And so what I urge you to do is to actually sit down and compose a list. I'm a list person. What is the worst that can happen? What is the worst that can happen if I try an exercise and it doesn't work? Or I don't like it, or I'm sore the next day? What could I do? What could I do different? Could I just walk? Could I just, do something small for myself? Could I keep this fitness journey to myself so I don't feel more judged or open myself up to scrutiny? All of those things are ways for you to attach or attack fear in a way that's more reality based, not jumping over all these hurdles in one day.
Yeah. And again, I would say to Sora Beth, she knows what to do. She's just saying, I haven't done it. I know what to do. Again, people are 80% more successful at pretty much any goal when they have an accountability partner. 80%. You're giving yourself an 80% better chance of reaching a goal if you have an accountability partner. I'll use myself, for example, in the category of fitness. I work out with a trainer 3 to 4 days a week. I don't do that because I just so love training. I know that my personal health, my fitness is a high enough priority to me, and for me, I'm willing to make an investment in it. If I make an investment in it and we've set these appointments up, I'm going to show up. But if it's left up to just Myra to get to the gym 4 to 5 days a week, I'm not going to be consistent at it. I know that about me. And so instead of me just fighting myself on, Myra, just get up, just go to the gym, just do it. Knowing I'm not going to do it consistently, I make an investment in that because it's a high enough priority that I'm willing to make the investment because it's that important to me that I live a physically fit life, because that helps me do better in the work that I do. I like to live what I'm talking about. I'm always asking women to create a more balanced rhythm for their life, create a balanced rhythm lifestyle. Well, I can't keep asking women to do that and show up on the stage and be confident about it if I'm not doing it. So I want to lead with that example. So for me, that's a high enough priority that I make the investment to pay for it so that I can stay consistent on it. I know in that area, I'm not going to show up consistently at the gym by myself. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah. And that's okay to know.
Listen, I know my crazy. I know where I'm not gonna fool myself and be like, oh no, I don't need a trainer. I'm gonna go. I'm not going. I'm not.
I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna go.
I might go once a week. That's not gonna help anybody.
And it looks like we've helped Beth because
yes.
Thank you both. I've just set 3 goals to complete by Wednesday. All right.
Come on.
The things in the next masterclass. We definitely want to hear the things and good updates. And I have a last question here from Francesca. Francesca says, how do you beat imposter syndrome when you're always disappointing yourself?
Always disappointing yourself. Francesca, I would ask you, why do you feel like you're always disappointing yourself? Is that related to you set a goal and didn't reach it, or you just in general feel like you're disappointing yourself? Either answer is going to wind up coming back to that quiet time. Really getting okay with you and understanding, why am I feeling disappointed in myself all the time? What is that about? Because I assure you, it's not the disappointment, is something under that. You're either setting a goal or not setting a goal. Either way, you're feeling that, but why? What's underneath that that's really causing you to feel that disappointment? I would encourage you to really, again, spend that quiet time with yourself to examine that and see what that's really about. Pull the onion layers back on that one, and let's see what's really going on underneath why you're feeling so disappointed in yourself, because I think you're going to have to get a handle on that first before you can even tackle the imposter syndrome. Because if you don't get that part figured out, the imposter syndrome is just going to keep weaving its way and finding another way into your life. If you don't get, what is this disappointment all about? What's really underneath that?
Right. And also highlighting, is that disappointment really because of me? Mm-hmm. Is that disappointment because of me or others' expectations they placed on me?
Yeah.
Am I disappointing myself, or is it because I am by proxy disappointing other people, which ain't really disappointed, because if they're not trying enough to help you with those goals, then let's talk about what disappointment is. But you have to determine if you're taking on their disappointment or your own. And that's just like Maven Miara has said, making sure that you understand what angle you're looking at this from. Is this you? Have you really sorted out what you're disappointed about, what's hurting within you? Mm-hmm. Or are you actually, on a road to making those changes and not giving yourself credit for those changes that you're making? Because it's not going to all happen overnight.
Yeah, so it's a journey.
Identifying those disappointments, big time. And Trina says here, sometimes you need micro goals.
Oh, absolutely.
Goals to encourage us. That you sure do, because a major goal doesn't happen overnight.
Right. And celebrate the wins along the way. It could be a itty bitty, tiny goal. Celebrate along the journey. Don't just wait for the big one to celebrate it. Celebrate along the way.
Celebrate along the way. I love it. I love it. So you know what, you all, before we head out, I want to make sure that Maven Miara tells you where she can be found, what kind of offerings she has, and then we're going to also make sure you all know my special gift to you today.
Oh, excellent. So again, you can find me on my website, mirashaw.com, and Miss Stephanie's been gracious and included that in the chat along the way. You can also find me on any of the social platforms by typing in Miara Shaw. You can also text me at 713-528-8071. Text the word BAM. And I am working on right now a workbook that really just helps you define, do, and duplicate how you want to create your lifestyle. This balance thing that I'm talking about, we have worn ourselves to the nub, especially as women of color, by doing too much and feeling guilty about self-care. We've got to get that under control and start to reverse that. And you'll be the first ones to get the worksheet, this workbook that I'm finishing up. Hopefully we'll have it done by next week. And if you text BAM to 713-528-8071, then I'll be sure and send you a copy of that so you can define, do, and duplicate the goals that you need to create the balanced lifestyle that you desire.
Thank you for that. We're going to have Stephanie's putting that in the chat right now. I'm going to make sure that you all can see that. So find Maven Miara at mirashaw.com and text Miara at 713-528-8271.
8071. I just put it in there.
Thank you so much. I'm going to change this. 528-8071. And text the word BAM, BAM. BAM. Some of y'all might want to text the word damn. That's okay too, probably.
I'll get it.
And then Kimberly said, can we text the word BAM today?
Absolutely. You can text it right now.
Text it right now. And Jessica says, I've truly enjoyed myself tonight. Thank you. Thank you, Jessica. And also, I want to leave you all with this. I'm going to make sure that you all see my offer to you. You can get 10% off your first 3 months in the mentorship membership by using the code Supernatural at checkout. Use code Supernatural. And what is this program about? We have several mentees in the room, wonderful women who are doing it, doing big things, even when they don't know they're doing big things. And what we do there is we ensure that things like this, like the master classes, are available to them as long as they are members. I've even had some that I one-on-one with, do some other things with. You all, it is a wonderful and enlightening place and space with courses that support your goals, your happiness, your strength. Not only that, but realistic ways of supporting you by using not only my experiences and expertise, but those of of others that I've worked with, that I've done things with, that have come before me. So I am hoping to see you all over there. If you have any questions, make sure you text me in my text community to find out more. But we are so happy that you are here. And if you are looking to find us, come on over to drninaellishervey.com or drninaellishervey.com/membership, where you can find out even more. And let me see. Thank you, ladies. Join the mentorship. Yes, Renita. Renita is a wonderful member. So
I love it.
Members here in the room. So please do join us. Kimberly said, this was very informative. I have a page full of notes. Thank you, Dr. Nina and Maven Miara. Thank you, Kimberly. Thank you so much. And we're so happy to have you all here. And we will be doing this soon. And just so you all know, there will be another masterclass we're going to start with a small charge of your life, $17 on the date that I have for you, just so you can put it in your calendars tentatively. Make sure you're on my email list and on my text list. But on Sunday, June 20th, that will be with Dr. Melissa Robinson Brown, who is a fellow psychologist. And we're going to be talking about ways to realistically overcome trauma in your everyday life. Trauma and all of these unexpected things that pop up. The world is opening up, and some of us are going back out to deal with some spirits.
Indeed.
Okay. So we're gonna be over here.
I'm gonna be a student on the next masterclass myself.
Yes, it's gonna be fun. Dr. Melissa Robinson Brown, you all have heard her on my podcast. I just recently worked with her with Diva Curl in a chat that we did there. So you all please. So how do you get to my email chat list? If you go to my page, drninaellishervey.com, scroll down, it actually tells you to enter your email and your name. That gives you my free supernatural program, but it also signs you up for my email list. So do that today. Go to drninaellishervey.com. If you scroll down, right there, it tells you to enter in your email address. Very simplistic. It adds you right to the list. You don't have to do anything more. Very simple. So the date there again is Sunday, June 20th. With Dr. Melissa Robinson Brown, with how to overcome trauma every day. Francis Shaw, cousin Francis Shaw. Okay. He says, thank you, ladies. Soulful Sunday. Thank you all. Thank you for being here. I'm clapping. Thank you for being here. It has been a wonderful Sunday, and we have enjoyed every moment with you all. Thank you for being with us, and we look forward to seeing you all on supporting both of us, but supporting Maven Miara. She is always over here. And what the membership doesn't know yet is we got a special little treat for them. We'll be having a small meetup group with them in the mentorship membership. You got to be a member of the membership to see and experience that. So ladies, y'all got a treat coming. All right. Y'all have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Enjoyed it.